You know, every year the King Breakfast Committee invites youth to participate because Dr. King was all about making this a better place for our children. To introduce our student speakers is a woman who not only is the head of Columbus City Schools, but was a principal in the Columbus City School District and a teacher in the district, but is also a product, like moi, of the Columbus City Schools. Ladies and gentlemen, the pride of the Lyndon McKinley Panthers, Dr. Jean Harris.
Good morning, everyone. It's my pleasure to introduce the student speakers this morning, two of whom are students in Columbus City Schools, and the third is a Morehouse Scholar who always, and the Morehouse Scholars always, excite us at this breakfast. First, I'd like to introduce to you Aisha Ibrahim. She is a senior at Columbus Global Academy. She speaks 4 languages. She speaks Arabic, Turkish, English, and Turkmenish. She is a senior at Columbus Global Academy. She has only been in the United States for 3 years. She is very involved in her school and in her community. She has participated in activities such as the Asian Festival. She also tutors in a homework help program with the Columbus Metropolitan Library for the last 2.5 years. She also tutors at her mosque, and she tutors students in Arabic, and she translates for the mosque. In 2010-11, she was selected to the Young Writers Workshop. She was very interested in writing this speech today, and one of the reasons she said that is because, as this is almost a quote, as a Muslim and a young lady, she said she has a lot to say, and she has the right in the United States to express what she has to say because of Dr. King and his activity. Aisha Ibrahim is our first speaker. Our second speaker this morning is Assata Gilmore. She is a 7th grader at Woodward Park Middle School. She is part of our Gifted and Talented program. She participates in debate and mock trial. She is a very active member of the New Song Community Church, where her mom happens to be the pastor, so I know she's active in everything at New Song. Her career ambition is to be a White House chef, the White House chef. And I know personally that she is a very good cook today. I know that she makes some of the best red velvet cupcakes. I had never had red velvet cupcakes, but Assata shared red velvet cupcakes with me. She plays volleyball. She is a strong student. Our second speaker is 7th grade student from Woodward Park Middle School, Assata Gilmore. Let's give her a round of applause. Our third speaker this morning is our Morehouse Scholar. He is the 2011-2012 Martin Luther King Jr. Scholar, Rashad Raymond Moore. He is a native of Brooklyn, New York. You have seen his bio in the program. I will not read it all to you, but I will say to you that he accepted the call to the Christian ministry at the Mount Carmel Baptist Church of Brooklyn under the leadership of the late Reverend Dr. V. Simpson Turner, Sr. He is a son of Bedford Stuyvesant. He is appreciative of the African American Church as an anchoring institution of liberation throughout history. He plans to be an educator and a religious leader. He is a senior at Morehouse. After Morehouse, he plans to go to divinity school, hasn't decided where yet. He is committed to the Christian tradition and the legacy of the Dr. Martin Luther King. He plans to commit himself to the ministry in the bivocation of pastor and educator, and we had a long conversation about that. Upon graduating from Morehouse in May, Rashad will continue his studies in the areas of social ethics and the philosophy of education. That is Rashad Raymond Moore. Let's give him a round of applause and welcome too. So in this order, I would ask that you receive our speakers first, Aisha Ibrahim, who is from Columbus Global Academy, then Assata Gilmore, who is from Woodward Park Middle School, and then Rashad Raymond Moore, who is the Martin Luther King Scholar from Morehouse. Please receive first Aisha. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning. My name is Aisha Ibrahim, and I attend Columbus Global Academy. I am originally from Iraq, but have enjoyed the United States for the past 3 years. We are here today to celebrate and honor Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. The greatest explanation of the vision of America is in Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream speech. Dr. King's speech is most likely a testimony of the truth rather than a speech. When he spoke from Lincoln Memorial, African Americans were already free from slavery, but not from discrimination. He wanted to establish the idea there is the American dream for everyone. He not only spoke with the purpose, but with the style unlike any other. To me, Dr. King's message means equality for all regardless of skin color and religion or culture. Dr. King made us imagine a bright future that we are living to reach our goals today. He also forced America to acknowledge the injustice that lives here and how we discriminate others by their skin color or what they came from. As I learned more, I came to understand the reason that I'm not having the tumultuous time is because America has begun to live up Dr. King's dream of freedom for everyone that lives in this country. When I arrived, and I thought I would have freedom of speech, I was surprised and relieved. I am a Muslim girl, and I'm compelled to follow my religion. And I have that right in the United States, and I'm so grateful to Dr. King delivering his message and challenging us to live up but for everyone that lives in this world. Today, his speech means a lot to me because here as an immigrant and a Muslim girl, I have the right to express my culture the way I want it. We all should be thankful to Dr. King because he fought and gave his life for the freedom that we often take for granted, but celebrate wholeheartedly today. His dream continues to become true every day. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Assata Gilmore, and I'm a 13-year-old 7th grader attending Woodward Park Middle School. The topic of my oration is marble cake. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. had a dream that one day black and white people would come together in brotherhood and sisterhood, a true blending. In that spirit, today's recipe is going to be marble cake, for it is a delicious blending of chocolate and white cakes. It is true to his dream. First, preheat your heart for love and acceptance, and clear your mind of everything negative. Next, put 1 cup of remembrance into a bowl. Remembering one's legacy is the most crucial ingredient, for I've heard no one dreams of being almost remembered. Dr. King was not one of those almost remembered persons, or else we would not be here today celebrating him. In celebrating him, I celebrate my own blended family, with my mom who is black and my stepdad who is white. Mix into this bowl of remembrance 2 heaping cups of celebration. Sift together well. We celebrate Dr. King in many ways, through speeches, orations, songs, tribute breakfasts, parades, and of course with birthday cake. We have most recently celebrated him with stone. In our nation's capital, there now stands a great stone memorial in his honor. The great artist Michelangelo once said, "I saw the angel in the marble and carved until I set him free." Chiseling and carving from marble is much more difficult than baking a marble cake. And I have recently been to this great stone of hope in Washington, D.C. It is truly extraordinary. My marble cake is my own tribute to him. Now, something's missing from this recipe: action. So sprinkle in some action. Mahatma Gandhi, one of Dr. King's inspirations, once said, "You must be the change you wish to see in the world." This means that we must take action in things we care about. Yes, we have made much progress with integration, but we still have a very long way to go. We seem to have a national epidemic of bullying on our hands, and so we must continue to work with each other on the hurtful things we say to one another. We must not let people think it's okay for Black people to call other Black people the N-word. We must not let people think it's okay for anyone to call anyone the N-word. Those are ingredients that we can certainly do without. Now you have a bowl filled with remembrance, celebration, and action. Fold in the dreams and desires of Black and white people for the marble cake to truly emerge. Put into the preheated oven of love and bake until golden. Once you remove the cake from the oven, serve it immediately. Do not let it cool. Makes enough for all. We cannot let Dr. King's words and actions cool in the rack. We cannot stop remembering and celebrating him. We cannot stop taking action, because if we do, we risk going back to just plain white cake and plain chocolate cake. We children who are here today, the children of Ohio and the children all over this country, are the future. We are the doers, the makers, the shakers, and the bakers. We must remember and celebrate Dr. King, the freedom riders, and all civil rights activists. Marble cake is what we have right now. And with remembrance, celebration, and action, it tastes delicious. Thank you.
Good morning. We are gathered this morning to remember, reflect, and to celebrate the life and legacy of one who has changed the course of history forever, the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. There is so much that could be said about Dr. King and has been said. We put life on pause this morning to remember him, the life he lived and the dream he left for us to fulfill. Yet, each year his life takes on new meaning for us. Dr. King was more than a speech. He was more than a preacher. He was more than a civil rights leader. He is more than a holiday, and he is certainly more than a monument of stone. He was, is, and will always be one of America's courageous prophets. When we limit his legacy to commonly repeated quotes and a day of community service, we do ourselves and his legacy a dishonor. King calls us time and time again to reconsider the course of our lives and reassess the values that order our days. Dr. King, we always should remember, he was a man, a human being,